Hey guys, I'm Chris, and today we're going to talk about The Lion King 3D. Now, let's get real here, okay? I'm not going to talk about the movie itself because we all know that The Lion King is a spectacular tale of a small lion cub who just kicks butt. Obviously, let's look around the channel, the month theme. I love The Lion King. The Lion King has a great story. People obviously love it. It's the highest grossing movie this week. It made $1 billion. It wasn't $1 billion. It was more like 30-something million, which is amazing. It's the highest grossing hand animated movie of all time. It was for a long time the highest animated movie of all time until a green ogre came out with a sequel and screwed it up for Simba, and then Toy Story 3 came out, but still, it made a lot of money, almost $1 billion at the box office, which is huge for a hand-animated movie, and, it just stands the test of time that, it can be released, 17 years since 1994? I'm gonna do the math. Probably wrong. Is it 17 years? Leave in the comments below. It's late at night. This is like take number 47. Today I'm going to talk about the 3D because, a lot of people don't like 3D. And, it's justifiable, sometimes, it's a little pricey. Sometimes the picture quality is not that great. Sometimes the story just doesn't justify for 3D. But I can honestly say that I was not a huge fan of 3D before seeing this movie. But after seeing The Lion King 3D, I can say that I love this movie in 3D, and I swear to you right now, after seeing this movie, I was like, you know what? I might save up and buy a 3D TV just so I can watch this in 3D someday in the future, because it's going to be coming out in 3D, in next month on Blu-ray. So I'm like, oh. I mean, the 3D technology has been around for a very long time. Disney has been doing this for, for about 10 years now almost. I mean, they started with Chicken Little, they converted Nightmare Before Christmas. Pixar has been doing their movies in 3D for a very, very long time. And movies have, ever since Avatar came out, there kind of just been this big boom of, the love for 3D. I mean, even Nintendo released a 3DS. People are liking the 3D, and people are trying to capitalize on it. And something that hasn't been done yet is 2D hand animation in 3D. So Disney's like, let's choose our biggest hand animated movie of all time, and probably one of our most beloved and liked movies of all time, The Lion King. Let's 3D convert that. Pop that sucker out, see how good it is, see if the audience, like it, and maybe we'll convert more movies. And let me tell you something. 3D technology was made for 2D animation. It looks spectacular. So stinking good. I'm going to put 3D glasses on because it's only fitting to talk about what I'm about to talk about. It's only fitting. If you don't know how a 2D hand-drawn animated movie is made or how it works, I'm going to give you kind of a quick crash course on how it's done. So just imagine a background. Here's probably wrong. A background. Like a sky or like a savanna background. Okay? That's one layer. That's like your piece of paper. Then an animator will draw a character. Let's, for the sake of argument, Simba. You would draw Simba and layer him on top of the background, the horizon or whatever. Now, you might also want to add some trees, some rocks in the foreground, or maybe even in the background. So you would add a layer under Simba or something of a tree or a mountain. And then maybe you want something in front of Simba, like a bush that's kind of off focus. You want to make it look all artsy and stuff. So you have maybe a bush right in front of him. So now you have all these layers. You have, you have your it's like a cake almost. You know what I'm saying? Like a pizza, like a Chicago pizza pie. So now you have these layers. You have your background sky, you got your mountain on top of that. You got Simba over there, and you got your artsy offset, off-focus bush. So now you have all these layers, and then you're left with this awesome looking flat surface 2D hand-drawn animation. Well, what this does is, with this 3D technology, what they're able to do is take these different layers and stretch them out. What they're able to do is give that, flat surface dimension, and they're able to make, that sky and that mountain, boom, pop out and look at you, and give this nice looking depth. They don't just make them separate, and they don't just make them look like a pop-out book. What they also do is they take those layers and they dimensionalize them. Imagine like an inflatable mattress when it's flat. That's your image. And what they do is that they build and inflate that image and they puff it up and they give it kind of a shape. Like, like this. What's basically happening here is you got your flat surface and now you have Simba popping out at you while you're watching the movie. It is spectacular. And one thing I can honestly say is that, some movies I've seen, the 3D looks good, but, it has a kind of like blurry look to it. The second time I saw Transformers, I saw it the second time I saw it in 3D, and I had a nasty headache, and I never ever gotten headaches from 3D movies before. I can say with this movie, it looked crystal clear. It didn't look dimmed like, most movies look really dark and kind of, gets that dim look because of the glasses. I was so excited. I remember texting Christian and a couple of my friends saying, like, oh my God, this movie looks so good in 3D. And, Christian's like, dude, are you being a little biased here? Like, there are some good 3D movies, like Avatar, you made a list. You're being biased that it's Lion King month. I'm like, dude, this looks so good, man. The image just pops. You have this flat surface, and you really get a sense of the layer on top of layer. The scene that everyone talks about is the Circle of Life scene. Unfortunately, I actually got into the theater kind of late, and I missed that, opening sequence, which was a shame because I heard it's spectacular. Now, I was lucky when I saw Cars 2, they actually had a preview of that scene. So, I saw it in 3D, but I didn't see it when I sat down Friday to watch it. But I have to say that one of my favorite scenes in the Lion King 3D that was in 3D was when Scar is singing Be Prepared. It was, mind-blowing. Scar's there, he's jumping from, rock to rock. The rocks are exploding out of the ground. There's, green lava spewing from the core of the earth. There's hyenas in the background, banging on antelope riblets and ash everywhere. He's singing. All these things are happening at once, and you feel like you're in the audience. You feel like you're in the cave where Scar is, and all this stuff's happening around you, and you really are like, whoa, what's happening here? This looks awesome, but I'm kind of scared because there's hyenas. That scene was just so spectacular, and I'm like, hey, Mr. Projectionist, can you rewind that so we can watch it again? That's how I felt. It was so cool. Which brings us to the next scene, which is funny about this movie. Probably one of the saddest, cinematic scenes ever is when Mufasa dies. And, it's so sad, and, it makes people tear up. I can honestly say that, you do get a little foggy, in the eyes. You get a little moisture. What's funny about the 3D glasses is that, this scene happened, and I'm looking around, and, to different families, people, some dude with his girlfriend, an older couple, a man with his shirt off. There's people like, what's great about the 3D glasses is that, they get fogged up or whatever, and you see people, cleaning them off or, going under them, oh, God. It was really funny just to, watch people trying to, adjust their glasses and whatnot. So that was, that's one thing, if you have not seen the movie, when that scene happens, just kind of look around, because you see people, doing that, and I thought that was one of the things where I'm like, okay, I'm always gonna remember this. This is kind of funny. I don't know if you can tell how passionate I am about this, but I really hope that Disney and maybe some other studios really see how well the Lion King did this weekend and made a lot of money. Hope they realize that 3D animation is great and all, but it's not the only thing. It's not the only medium to tell a story. 2D hand animation is just as effective, and personally I think it's even better. You can achieve so much more with a pencil and a piece of paper than you can with a computer. And I really hope that they can convert other 2D hand-drawn animations. My short list, I would love to. I know they already converted the Beauty and the Beast, which I'm really excited to see. I really hope they do Aladdin. I hope they do Little Mermaid, and I really want to see Mulan and Tarzan. And I would love to see other movies, maybe cartoon shorts. I think Steamboat Willie, that's old school, but that would be kind of cool to see, in a 3D post-converted way. That'd be kind of cool. I know the original is still probably better, but that'd be kind of cool to see Mickey Mouse, But yeah, 2D animation and 3D is an awesome marriage. So for those who do not like 3D, I totally recommend, someone who was never really impressed with 3D, I came out of this movie totally impressed, totally excited for the future of hand-drawn animation and what this 3D technology could be for this medium. So I totally give Lion King a chance if you have not seen it. You have one more week. You have one more week to see The Lion King. You have till next Friday, and then it's not going to be in theaters anymore. I'm sure they'll re-release it someday in the future. But, if you want to see it now in 3D, definitely take your family, your girlfriend, your dog, your cat, your, alien friend down the street. You're going to get nostalgic. You're going to have fun singing along with the songs. People, all over the theater were quoting scenes as they were happening. It was a really cool experience, especially having grown up with the movie, because I'm a 90s kid. Oh, forgot to mention, this is something that Christian and I were talking about. We're like, are they going to do the morning report in this version? If you guys are unfamiliar, in 2003 when they released The Lion King on DVD, Disney DVD, they added a musical number where Zazu is giving the morning report to Mufasa and Simba, and in the original scene, it was Simba and Mufasa's teaching Simba how to pounce. And then in the special edition, they added this whole musical number, which is good and I really liked. But in this 3D version in theaters now, they have the original theatrical release, which is really cool because I haven't seen that in so long, and I was expecting like, oh, here comes the morning report. Let's get ready, boys and girls. You all ready to watch the morning report? Because I sure am. And then I was like, whoa, it's the original. I don't remember the dialogue. And then it was cool because I forgot the scene. It was actually kind of long and it was humorous. And that was all cut out of the special edition. So yeah, if you want to see the original version back on the big screen, here's your chance. It's the original 1994 version, which is really, really cool. Remember, you have one more week to watch this movie, and then it's going to be released on DVD, Blu-ray, and 3D Blu-ray on October 4th. And I'm not paid to say this, but I actually pre-ordered it at my local Disney store, and if you do that, they give you this awesome folder, and they give you lithographs, which are basically nice printed screen grabs from the movie. They give you like 10 or 6 of them, I don't know, 10 of them? 6 of them? Of various scenes. Comes in this cool folder. It's free when you pre-order the movie. Very cool. So thanks again for watching. Again, as you can tell, I really recommend seeing The Lion King in 3D and support 2D animation 3D conversion. So thank you again, guys. I'm Chris. Christian says hello, and you've just been Chris Cross. Peace out, my friends. I don't always like 3D movies, but when I do, I prefer The Lion King. Hakuna Matata, my friends.